Hello nursery and reception. This week our story is Superworm. Today in our video, watch out for some people you might know and let's see who can spot a real life worm in the video. So you need to be really concentrating while you listen to the story. Superworm. Superworm by Julia Donaldson. This is the bit we all know, isn't it? Join in!
Superworm is super long. Superworm is super strong. See him wriggle, see him squirm. Hip hip hooray for Superworm!
Help! Disaster! Baby Toad has hopped onto a major road. Quick! Whatever can we do? Look! It's a Superworm lasso. The bees are feeling bored today. They need a nice new game to play. Cheer up, bees. No need to mope. It's Superworm, the skipping rope. Do you like playing skipping rope?
Superworm is super long. Superworm is super strong. Watch him wiggle, see him squirm. Hip hip hooray for Superworm!
Beetle's fallen in the well. Is she drowning? Who can tell? Not to panic. All is fine. It's Superworm, the fishing line. What did Superworm do there to rescue Beetle? Join in.
Superworm is super long. Superworm is super strong. Watch him wiggle, see him squirm. Hip hip hooray for Superworm!
Then toads and beetles, bees and bugs, brother snails and sister slugs, Uncle Ant and earwig aunt, clap and cheer and chant this chant.
Superworm is super long. Superworm is super strong. See him wiggle, watch him squirm. Hip hip hooray for Superworm!
The chant is carried on the air to Wizard Lizard in his lair. He mutters in his servant's ear, "Find that worm and bring him here." The servant crow is black and grim. Everyone is scared of him. They all let out a fearful shriek to see their hero in his beak. The beak is the bird's mouth. Oh no, what do you think's going to happen to Superworm now? Uh-oh. The wizard waves his magic flower. Now, Superworm, you're in my power, and you must tunnel, writhe, and coil to find me treasure in the soil. Superworm is very cross to have a lizard as his boss, but when he tries to slink away, the wizard's magic makes him stay. For days he tunnels, twists and winds, but all the treasure that he finds is 2 small buttons, half a cork, a toffee, and a plastic fork. The lizard flicks an angry tail. Have one last try, and if you fail to find that treasure down below, I'll feed you to my hungry crow. What treasures can you see here on the picture that Superworm found? There's the button, that's the cork, that's the toffee, and there is the plastic fork. The crow is flapping through the night. Everyone looks up in fright. They see him perch upon an oak and listen to his dreadful croak. Superworm is good to eat. Superworm's a special treat. He'll be juicy, fat and firm. Hip hip hooray for Superworm. Action quickly at the double. Superworm's in frightful trouble. We must help him if we can. We must hatch a cunning plan. What do you think the other animals are going to do to try and rescue Superworm? Look, they're all thinking about it. Do you want to have a think about it too? The garden creatures leave their home carrying a honeycomb. They jump and fly and crawl and creep and find the lizard fast asleep. They chew the petals off his flower to rob him of his magic power. The caterpillars fetch some leaves while busily the spider weaves. That means the spider is making a web. The web is strong, the web is tough, the web is plenty big enough. The wizard wakes. This isn't funny. I'm wrapped in leaves and stuck with honey. Then up the bees and beetles fly and lift the web into the sky. Where do you think they're going to take the lizard? They're doing good teamwork, aren't they? This is the place, and bang, crash, thump, the wizard's in the rubbish dump. And now from somewhere underground there comes a distant rumbling sound. The earth begins to heave, and then Superworm is back again. Join in, everyone.
Superworm is super long. Superworm is super strong. Watch him wiggle, see him squirm. Hip hip hooray for Superworm.
Superworm, the swing, the slide, the hula hoop, the fairground ride. That looks fun, doesn't it?
Worm is super long. Superworm is super strong. Watch him wriggle. Watch him squirm. Hip hip hooray for Superworm!
Superworm, the belt, the hat, the train, the crane, the acrobat. What other things do you think Superworm could turn itself into? Then toads and beetles, bees and bugs, brother snails and sister slugs, uncle ant and earwig aunt, clap and cheer and chant this chant. Join in!
Superworm is super long. Superworm is super strong.
Watch him wiggle, see him squirm. Hip hip hooray for Superworm.
So, did you see anyone else you know in that video? And who managed to spot that real-life worm? The end.
Superworm is super long.
Superworm is super strong.
Watch him wiggle.
See him squirm.
Hip hip hooray
For Superworm.
Have a great week, nursery and reception, and a great half term, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.